Welcome back to Dream Drop Distance. It's Lee, not Axel. Got it memorized?
Well, I can't, because he already told me to memorize the other thing. I can't believe he wants me to change gears again.
Human beings can only memorize so much.
That's true. We are strictly 486 computers. That's as far as we can go.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I'll give the castle grounds a sweep.
It is pretty dusty out there.
Is that how he wound his way into the organization? Posing as a janitor?
Well, it worked for Roger Wilco, I guess, considering Space Quest 5, so why not?
I highly doubt it. When someone who's lost their heart is recompleted, they should return to the place where it happened.
Oh, you think you know everything, don't you, Xehanort, with your fucking book and shadow clones and all that other bullshit I had to put up with?
You seem a bit disturbed. Tom, do you want to talk about it?
Fight him in RE Chain of Memories, then get back to me, see if you feel the same.
Well, I've watched a video on it, and thus I am a complete expert.
Of course.
They should be here too. Plain and simple.
I agree, it is strange.
Aren't there regulations against having stupid hair if you're a scientist?
Could they not?
As long as they get results, I doubt their employers give a shit.
That's true.
Well, you see...
Although, you'd have to put regulations on that shit.
They have, like, regulation haircuts for a reason, I think.
Huh? How, exactly?
My hair is much more acceptable.
Why do I always get stuck with the icky job?
The first of many 358 over 2 days references, sadly.
Well, he really kind of crammed in that catchphrase. It seemed really unnatural. It's like, okay, well, it's an Axel thing. He's got to say it in this scene.
Yeah. Quentin Flynn plays Axel/Lee, I would say much more dully than in other games. I think that's because he doesn't have to fake emotions so much nowadays, since he has a heart again and whatnot.
Well, even then, there's nothing particularly wrong with, having a very distinct kind of character and voice and things like that. Like go back to a Chain of Memories where Quentin Flynn played Axel like he was a fucking board. I don't even know what happened there between that and Kingdom Hearts 2 when suddenly he was worth a damn again, but I don't know, it could have been a lot worse, trust me.
Well, the problem with Chain of Memories is it was created as, a GBA game. That text was never meant to be spoken out loud, or at least at the time it was considered to be, strictly a GBA game. There was no notion of it ever being remade for the PS2.
Exactly, that was another problem I had with it. The dialogue wasn't changed to sound more natural at all. It was read completely straight, and as a result, it sounds really awkward in the remake version.
And that, folks, is our commentary for RE Chain of Memories, and thus we don't have to touch the game at all. Moving on.
There you go, just clip that part, put it on YouTube. It's a separate part. Put ads on that too, why not?
Fuck you.
Now, I'm gonna admit this, because I am a man. Well, we think, I'm not sure. But I have died on this guy about 2 to 3 times. It's because of this attack right here. You have to press the B button to do your little float to make sure that doesn't hit you. I didn't know that, and I was going like, well, how the fuck do I dodge that? Do I have to kill him before he can do that? I don't know.
Oh my god, you're blaming yourself and not the game. We're making progress, people.
What, I can blame myself for stuff. I blame myself all the time for every decision I've made.
Speaking my language there, Helldragon.
This guy is pretty easy. Thankfully, he has left 2 fuck-me lights for us to hit. I don't know why he's here trying to defend the entrance to this world. There's nothing really there worth defending.
There's some interesting programs and the like there, if you catch my drift.
I guess, but why would a giant squid care about programs? Unless he's like, computer analyst squid on the side.
Well, whatever, at least we get to hear Wild Blue again, which is a pretty bitchin' theme.
Yeah, I agree, this seems pretty good.
Hell yeah, murder!
Take that, squid! You suck!
Ugh, the worst kind of dive rewards are the ones you can buy at a Moogle shop. Nice goggles, Sora.
You need any big floaties to help you out there?
Is your mum getting you ready for a light cycle ride or something?
No, he's got to ride with his mom, because he's not tall enough for the light cycle. I know that pain. I do. I wanted to go on bumper cars so bad as a kid, but I was not tall enough.
What is that?
Ignoring your emotional pain, Sora is pretty short, I guess, at least compared to Riku.
Oh, that's for sure, yeah.
So Tron Legacy, Helldragon, your thoughts?
There is no Daft Punk in this world, and therefore I hate it.
Yeah, and sadly, Tron Legacy remains one of the only Disney sequels which I have not actually watched. The other being one I mentioned a few parts ago, which I will not utter here and sully this installment.
This reality shift is a bit more useful. I was actually using this more often to do things like disable turrets. You basically jump in and you mess with the code of the enemies, which is neat. And you get various effects like blowing up the enemies or redirecting turret attacks or things like that. I actually found it to be worth a damn, which is odd.
Oh, a reality shift involving computers and you like it. There's a surprise.
Oh, of course. Let's lump me in that. If there was a reality shift with pizza, I bet you'd go all over for that, wouldn't you?
Oh, shit, it's fucking on now.
This is when shit gets serious in the Kingdom Hearts 3D playthrough.
I'm going to drop some serious trivia for you all right now. The original plan for the grid was that Riku would be the one to visit it, and Sora would actually visit Space Paranoid's Tron World from Kingdom Hearts 2.
That's pretty interesting. Well, I wonder why... Well, I mean, how would they make that work? In the context of this, because Tron Legacy does have particular plot-themed spoilers that I'm not really going to go into at this moment. They'll be shown later, you'll know. But I'm not sure how exactly they would tie that together, but it would have been pretty interesting, actually, to see how Sora does things in the past version of the world, and then Riku has to deal with what goes on in the future of it. Yeah,
the repercussions and whatnot.
Yeah, I would have actually liked to see that. It is kind of a shame that they didn't do that in the end.
Now, you say there's no Daft Punk here, and, the lack of Daft Punk is always a detriment in any given situation, but the music in this world is actually pretty decent, very techno-heavy.
I agree, I do really like the music in here. It's nothing really close to what Daft Punk I've heard of, but, it's pretty good.
Level design's pretty decent as well.
Yeah, sure, there's a lot of places to grind out. Oh, but what is really annoying, I have to admit this, it was in worlds like these that made me wish there was a dedicated flow motion button. Because what you tend to do when you get near these rails is to automatically grind on them and things like that. And that has always thrown me off so much. Like, I'm in the middle of fighting enemies and I get too close to a rail. And then I start grinding along it, just completely throwing off my sense of direction. I wish it wasn't as automatic. I wish I could control it more in that sense. Halt. Dork identified.
Attempting to purge Dork.
Delete Dork, EXE.
Don't have any handles, but the name's Sora.
Verifying handle, Sora. Handle not found.
Well, it's funny, if this was his Kingdom Hearts 2 incarnation, he would have handles.
I like that little voice distortion that the guards have going on. I've always been a fan of, voice distortion things. That's why I like the Reapers so much in Mass Effect.
Ah, yes.
Sovereign is fucking boss. Oh my god. That's the kind of Reaper that the World Ends With You cast should have been facing on the hunt for their sequel.
Of course, fuck you. These guards right here are actually Disney mooks, so, yeah. There you go, there's another one of my wishes fulfilled.
And there we go. And they're a pretty decent fight. I mean, they can be a bit frustrating. Well, I mean, they provide enough of a challenge, but they're not as hard. They can get off their multi-hit combos, but you can juggle them, you can zap them, send them flying, things like that. I feel it's more evenly balanced when fighting these guys.
Yeah, it's a human-sized character versus a human-sized character, so it's a more personal kind of fight.
Yeah, it's not like, the whole kind of super armor multi-hit juggling attacks you tend to find with other Dream Eaters. I don't have a stick, but I'm just as threatening.
Who's gonna win this pose-off?
Tron. He's alive.
Look at that boy's weapon.
It looks dorkier than the rest.
The new program
We're not going to point out how uncanny valley this is right now.
Oh yeah, that's true, yeah. Well, okay, well, it's not as bad as, say, Pirates of the Caribbean, when that was in KH2. That was way worse, because we had to compare with Donald. Here, at least, it kind of meshes a bit better.
You know what else helps it along as well? The fact that there's neon everywhere, giving it a bit of a cartoony edge.
That's true. I wouldn't say this world looks, authentically realistic, but I like how it stands out as a result. Yep, it is dorky. I have identified it.
This is just incredible. What a program. The weapon and the wielder.
Now, I believe these characters are Sam, Quora, and the guy in the cool-ass jacket with the neon shit inside it. I don't know his name, but I believe he was played by Jeff Bridges in the movie.
Yes, he was. That's, Flynn.
Flynn, there we go.
Yeah, I've met him and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to play the past game.
That program you just fought was Tron.
What? That was Tron?
He's going through a bit of an emo phase.
Tron used to be a good friend. Together, we created this place, the grid. It was something, man. But then Clue staged a coup.
Say that 3 times fast.
Clue stage a coup. Clue stage a coup. Ugh.
There you go.
Or so I thought. Clue made him into a new program called Rinsler.
You know, it's funny because there's a brand of cigarette papers over here called Rizzler.
So, Clue literally turned Tron into a cigarette. I could have said the other word, but I decided to avoid it.
Good man, you're learning.
Most of this is over my head. But both Tron and this world do seem pretty different.
It does seem pretty Hollywood in here.
If that's really the Tron I know, we should change him back.
Bingo. Now you're up to speed.
I really like Flynn, in this world, because he sort of talks like, he's a bit more casual in his speak. He says, like, man, bingo, kiddo, things like that. I actually really liked him.
He's a bit of a guru at the same time, though, since, obviously he did create this place.
Yeah, but, I mean, compare with how he speaks, his dialogue, his character, it's a nice contrast, actually.
It does offset it quite nicely, yeah.
So, if we get Tron's source code...
Of course, Tron was open source, that's why this happened. I told you guys not to put Linux on your computers, and look what happened. Now your Linux is evil.
I'm going after Clue.
Do you even know where he is?
Nope, no.
Just gonna kill guys until I find out.
You're nothing.
Are you Tron? No. Are you Tron? No.
Where's Tron? Where's Tron?
That was Tron. You kind of just bludgeoned him to death.
Yeah. What are you gonna do if Rinsler attacks again?
I'm gonna make fun of his silly cigarette name. That's what I'm gonna do.
We have to take care of Rinsler first.
The two of us can handle him.
How do you put neon inside your clothes, anyway? I mean, I can understand, like, the outside lines, but he's got it in, like, his collar. I don't even know how you do that.
Programmed it very meticulously.
Sam, I have a feeling Sora is someone we can trust.
He is, after all, a main character, just like we are.
Ah yes, maincharacter.exe, the most trustworthy of executables.
Man, you are making me really wish there was net navies in this. I love Battle Network. I love that kind of shit.
I'm surprised you went this long without mentioning Battle Network.
Well, I had to get in the opportunity somewhere.
It's you and me. You ready, Sora?
Yeah, let's do this, Cora.
Quora was not a good show. Sorry, unrelated.
I was actually going to make that joke. You bastard program.
I'm just gonna take everything from you that you hold dear.
That's what you do already.
That's true. Yes, Rinsler. This disc is indeed silly. You have done well.
Oh my god, there's a hologram coming out of this disc.
Keyblade.
I guess blackberries get really weird in the future.
Take it back, it's clearly witchcraft.
Okay.
Well, bye now.
There is a draft in here. Another pretty good counter moves. Again, I tend to go towards the aerial recovery counters more often, because trust me, you will get knocked into the air quite a lot.
Aerial recovery seems to not work for me at all in this game. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Usually, like in the past games, you hit Y and then you instantly recover. Here you kind of have to wait a bit. Like, I've mashed Y before, and then only after a little bit did it finally kick on. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Especially heinous when you're fighting a certain secret boss who will be appearing at the end of this playthrough. Not gonna name names.
Oh, well, what a subtle hint.
I didn't name names. Stop judging me, you two.
Tom, why do you have to do so many takes? I thought you were better than this, man.
Leave me alone.
Why didn't The World Ends With You get a sequel? Yes!
I hate you so goddamn much. Listen, I'm just glad we're out of Pranks' Paradise, because God knows I had to go back and insert 10,000 hours of post-commentary for that shit.
Yeah, that's true. It was very appreciated, though. Oh, this world has these, enemies that they track you with their lights, and I believe, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe when the meter gets full, they summon more Dream Eaters to attack you.
Either that or launch fireballs at your current location.
That's true. I always made sure to take them out, no matter what.
Yeah, in any case, just kill them before their light falls upon you.
Kill them before they kill you. This is your strategy guide for Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Here's an interesting little area. We're inside the Solar Sailor now, and it's comprised of a lot of long various compartments, and you can actually go up multiple levels, which I like.
It's changed a lot since Kingdom Hearts 2.
I know, it's like really drastic, but then again, it's a lot like, how the movie was. Like, the original movie came out in, like, the 80s, and then here comes Tron Legacy, like, 20 years later, and it's so vastly different.
The only thing I've seen about Tron Legacy is, I think, a little tie-in thing called Flynn Lives or something like that.
I believe the video game for Tron Legacy is actually a prequel before the events of the movie. And this is another good reuse of Reality Shift, like I said before, using it to disable turrets, which, trust me, you want to do that right away, because otherwise they will just pound you and pound you and pound you, and it's very annoying.
God knows you don't want anything pounding you, Helldragon.
Yeah, especially not from behind where you can't see it coming.
And on that note, we'll see you all next time in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance.